Anime is trash. Not much of a controversial statement, right? No matter where you go in the anime community, which, especially on the internet, has blossomed into an ever-expanding mass of individuals with wildly different tastes and opinions, this is the one unshakable refrain that seems to bind the community together. No matter what we like or don't like, or whether we're casual viewers or diehard fans, when that one person in a group inevitably ends their opinion with, and I mean, all anime is trash anyway, everyone can simply nod their heads and move on. And really, this isn't something I'm contesting. God knows I think anime is trash. But something that I do find interesting is how wholly the rhetoric surrounding anime online has seemed to focus on affirming this fact, and how the perceptions of fans towards this medium have shifted as a result. Although it may have been different even just a few years ago, I think it's safe to say that most communities and individuals will at least somewhat agree on the trash status of anime. It's become a veritable fact, something that doesn't even need to be questioned. Anime is trash, and we know that. But there is one question that's difficult to answer, and one that I think has been answered very differently in the past. One question that I'm not sure I've figured out the answer to. Is it okay to like trash? Okay, so I'm going to stroke my ego here and act like I'm an authority and can actually answer this question. And hey, I am the one who has anime trash in their channel name, so who knows? Maybe I am an authority. But basically, take my opinion with a grain of salt, but still, take it, I guess. So I personally am of the firm belief that some anime are trashier than others, because really it's hard to compare the likes of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and Cowboy Bebop, narratives which had a full and lasting impact on my life, with shows like Sword Art Online and Infinite Stratos.
But I kind of liked Sword Art Online.
Dude, not now. I'm trying to make a video. Still, even if I do fall firmly on one side of the fence, I think the view that there even is a fence to begin with is kind of interesting, and speaks to the way that this mindset affects interactions within the community at large. Take me and my friends as an example. In any conversation where anime comes up, it's not uncommon to hear lines like, okay, the show is still trash, but I think it's good, or, dude, that new show you picked up looks pretty trashy, or simply, they have shit taste. Basically, when we talk about bad anime, we often have to reaffirm that we understand it doesn't reach the upper echelons, that of course it's trash and doesn't attain the level of anime that have ascended this marker. Essentially, my point is this: anime carries with it a certain connotation for different people. For some, it might be shame or embarrassment. For others, it might even be pride. Here, the latter case often leads to individuals not seeing the flaws of many anime, either willfully or not, while the former leads to people seeing only the flaws. And so, in that kind of environment, is there any way to reach a middle ground? Ultimately, to do so would require those who praise anime as a medium without fault to recognize that many anime are trash, but also for those who use the recognition of this fact as a shield for their ego, to recognize that anime can be good without specific preconditions. In both cases, there's a struggle. Different, but stemming from the same issue. Questions like, can I like this show even though it's trash? Or, since most anime are trash, can I justify watching those that are deemed good? Essentially, it's the overarching question once again. Is it okay to like trash? To try and answer this question, I primarily want to use Dagashi Kashi as an example, an anime whose second season recently began airing. Now, Dagashi Kashi is by all definitions a mediocre show, relying on its standard plot and increasingly outlandish gags to drag itself along. Heck, Jeff Thu even compared it to Family Guy, which is like the anime equivalent of Fantano giving an album a 4. What I'm trying to say is, this show is trash, but I enjoyed it. But how can I reconcile that? Compared to examples like Bebop and FMA, which offer complex plot structures, consistent character growth, quality action, and a deep emotional investment, Dagashi Kashi doesn't hold a candle. Basically, it possesses none of the features which lead to a sanctioned enjoyment. But to me, it does have something. Fun colors, dumb skits, character interactions that are able to get a laugh. Sure, this isn't a lot compared to the complexity of these other examples, but I don't believe that diminishes the value of the enjoyment that the show offers. At its core, it's meant to entertain, and even if it doesn't have a lasting impact, the effect it has in the present moment is what makes it worth something. And this may not be a radical point in itself. Of course it's okay to like things because they're fun, but, at least to me, this idea seems to get lost in the pursuit of watching the best shows, in the never-ending quest for overcompensation, in proving that your taste isn't shit. And this is especially true in online circles. But it's important to allow yourself to find enjoyment in something for the small things it does, rather than just admonishing it for what it doesn't. In large part, we're all here to enjoy ourselves, so shouldn't that be the priority? Of course, this entire argument does come with one very important caveat: viewer responsibility. Anime as a medium is rife with the over-sexualization of its characters, unmitigated portrayals of unhealthy or abusive relationships, and Kirito. With so many overwhelmingly negative elements, it becomes extremely important to remain aware of the negative impact of these tropes. You can enjoy trashy anime, yeah, but if you enjoy it without ever considering its broader cultural environment or impacts, then this enjoyment is no longer founded in a desire to relish the positive aspects of a show, but rather in a willful ignorance of its negatives. But on the other hand, is this always the case? In a show like Dagashi Kashi, where the negative tropes, while representative of larger issues within popular anime storytelling, are relatively innocuous, I think it's okay to enjoy it on its own, without writing an essay on the dark reality of its reliance on ecchi to carry the story. However, in some cases this can't be ignored. When these negative tropes are so intimately tied into a story that they can't be separated from the primary narrative, then there's something that must be recognized and understood. Is it ever going to be the case that these shows can't be enjoyed at all? No. But I don't think they should be enjoyed blindly, because that's when your taste truly becomes shit. Well guys, that's pretty much my take on the matter. I know this is a topic that might not seem like it needs addressing, so maybe it's a bit of a weird video for a small channel to put out, but I do think it's important to remember that you don't always need to feel bad about liking trash, as long as you do it responsibly. Anyway, that's about it, and I know this video was a little cluttered, so I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this. So be sure to let me know in the comments what your favorite trashy anime is, so that we can all make fun of you and feel better about ourselves. See you next time.